Hello students, I am Sunil Ranjan and I am an English teacher. Now here in this session, I have come with In Praise of Ignorance by Hilaire Belloc, and I am explaining In Praise of Ignorance in points. So first, the point number 1, that is Erasmus' Folly, the inspiration for Hilaire Belloc's In Praise of Ignorance. At the outset, Belloc declared that he followed Erasmus' folly while attempting to write in praise of ignorance. But he said that he did not feel free like the Renaissance writers, nor he had the talent to do so. Still, he had made up his mind to write a small article in praise of ignorance. Now, point number 2. Knowledge, the oceanic dimension. Knowledge about prospect of the things is vast, like an ocean, and no matter how much knowledge one had, one would feel humbled. One's knowledge was limited, and instead of attempting the impossible, it was wise to try to know what one didn't know. One might know the names of things or people, but beyond that, one hardly knew much. Even when one sat in an examination, one would often think what one did not know. Point number 3. Greatness in knowledge of one's ignorance. Ignorance leads to curiosity. One knows only what is before him or what he has happened to come across. It also makes one realize one's limited awareness or knowledge of things around, whether it be from one's own experience or from other sources. Ordinary minds brag about the limited knowledge they have, but the knowledgeable ones think of what they don't know. It is one's greatness to remain level-headed, despite all knowledge one thinks one has acquired. There is eagerness in the individual to know more and more. This happens to be a very positive, forward-looking and dynamic mindset to keep looking ahead, setting aside the knowledge one has acquired within a given time frame. This very understanding sets one to take off for higher flights in life, to know more and more, as knowledge is an unending highway of human life, on which there are milestones indicating further possibilities. The more one drives ahead, the more one becomes knowledgeable and enlightened. Now, point number 6. Ignorance, beginning of learning. The desire to learn and unfold the mysteries of life in different points of time happens only when one realizes one knows only a small fraction about something. The willingness to learn has its seeds in ignorance. So ignorance sets the mood for growth, and growth is possible only when there is the urge to learn and refusal to stay where one had been earlier. This realization of knowing nothing and staying in the vacuum of ignorance gives an opportunity to human brain to charge itself, to absorb more and more, as learning takes place only when new things get into it. Now, point number 5. Sequence missing. Often one acquires knowledge about things or events, but sequencing them means setting them in order is important to make them appear meaningful. Memory brings things or events to the present state of awareness, but this recalling or awareness only is not enough. The different fragments that have been brought to mind, or say recalled, need to be arranged in a proper order to derive complete meaning from their sequential disposition. Fragmented information carries no meaning, but these were fragments when arranged properly make a complete whole and become meaningful. Now, point number 6. Ignorance, the space for learning more and more. Ignorance paves the way for getting to know oneself and then attempting to know what one did not know. It provided space for growth because if there were no space, how could one fill it with the knowledge one has acquired? Ignorance was not negative as it appeared, but it made one realize what amount of information one had and what was required to move ahead. It was not a negative factor in the growth of human being over time, but was an understanding of oneself that pushed one to know if one desired growth. Point number 7. Space for preliminaries. Belloc held that he had allowed the preliminaries to take up all his space in his attempt to approach the chief spiritual attribute of ignorance, which had the power to flood the mind with happiness. He held that all our loves, all our hero worships, and all our dreams of coming peace, and all our visions of fortune were the fruits of ignorance. The root of his happiness lies in ignorance, when he was unaware of what was said behind him after he left the congenial company with whom he had held close exchange of feelings and thoughts. Now, point number 8. Ignorance, the path to future adventure. Belloc further said that it was by ignorance alone that mankind advanced through the rough seas of human life. Human adventure was not possible without ignorance. It was the mystery of not knowing that inspired one to know more and move ahead. And point number 9, that is the final point, my dear students. And point number 9 is unknown future. Ignorance had in it the seeds of unknown future. No matter how much one boasted of one's accomplishments in life, ignorance of future always continued to bring pleasant or unpleasant surprises. It was ignorance that made one realize one's limits. Finally, Belloc thanked the Almighty for his own ignorance that was unfortunately less than that of most people, and felt good about himself that it would help him in one way or the other. So students, this is the end of this text, and I have explained it in a very easy manner. If you have subscribed to my channel, it's good. If you haven't, do subscribe to my channel so that you get to know more and more. Thank you.